thought I'd leave Ezra to his playing. My piano repertoire consisted only of a few bars of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I thought it best not to inflict that upon anyone. The Belmore family's monogram was etched in gold on the shield. I had nothing else to say to the gardener. The fountain had long run dry and the cracked, dusty basin was empty. The fountain dominated the room like the queen on a chessboard, but this queen had been dethroned decades ago. I'd already been warned about touching the poisonous thorns. The door was locked. The trunk was empty. I didn't think he'd be interested in that. A dying tree stood next to the balcony. Its branch. The tree was out of reach in the garden. That didn't work. Nope. That wasn't going to work. I didn't need to search for a book right now. I already felt like I was in one. I needed to think of something else. I couldn't do that. That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. The bookshelves were filled with tomes on every subject I could imagine. Astronomy to music, numerology to zoology, each with faded spines and dusty covers. I didn't need to disturb Cordelia again. Now wasn't the time for a nap. A grate opened beneath the stove to the ash pan, designed to allow burned charcoal and ashes to be cleaned out. Lighting the fire may have warmed the room, but it couldn't take away the chill I felt standing there. There was nothing left in the ash pan. I didn't want to make a hole in that. I didn't need to blow on that. That didn't work. I didn't need to cut. That didn't work. Nope. That didn't work. I didn't need to dust. Knowing the erratic. That didn't work. That didn't work. I didn't need to do that. These barrels already had taps. I refilled the bottle, but as the rum neared its neck, the flow turned to dribbles. That must have been the last of it. That wasn't going to work. I didn't need any more rum. That didn't work. That wasn't going to work. That didn't work. That wasn't go- The fire beneath the pot was already burning steadily. I didn't need to pour rum on that. I didn't need to pour rum on that. I couldn't do that. A marble fireplace sat between the two curved staircases, guarded on each side by stone lions. I didn't need to do that again. Would you like this rum?
Very kind, but no. I need to be getting this garden growing again.
I had nothing else to say to the gardener. I couldn't... Nope. There was no chance of refilling the fountain. I didn't need to water the plants. I was quite on edge about what would grow out of them if I did. I emptied the rum onto the thorns and waited. There was only one rose left. I needed to be more delicate than ripping it out of the flower bed. Delicately, I cut the stem and picked up the last rose in the house. It was a beautiful red rose with a handful of thorns along its stem. Ouch! The wooden sign had the quaint charm of a handmade woodcraft, if it wasn't for the skull and crossbones painted on it. I thought I'd keep that to myself. It was a painting of the gazebo I recognized from the cliff top. I thought I'd keep that to myself. I placed the rose in the vase. There was just one item left. It was an untouched slice of wedding cake. A piece of wedding cake could be seen in the mirror, one of the items I needed to bring to Abigail. I couldn't do that. I considered picking up a sheet and draping it over me, but there were enough ghosts in the house already. I couldn't do that. I had nothing else to say to her. While Mrs. Craddock rubbed her temples, I had a moment of opportunity. I knew I wasn't supposed to cut the cake if I wasn't the groom, but these were unusual circumstances.
Did you just touch the wedding cake?
Certainly not. I was just admiring it.
I should hope so. If I catch you with so much as a crumb on your fingers, you will be in serious trouble.